सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं नमतोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। Vicharasagara, 4th chapter, page 104, first line in the middle. तथा च वस्त्वन्तरकृतपरिच्छेदरहितमेव ब्रह्मशब्दवाच्यं भवितुमर्हति। द्वैतप्रपञ्चस्य तत्स्वरूपे अध्यस्ततया एव प्रतीतेर्वस्तुतः तत्स्वरूपानतिरिक्तत्वात्। Nischalādasa giving the description of Brahman as a part of Chit Chatur Vidya Prakriya. What is the nature of Brahman? He enters that derivation, Vyutpatti. Brahma word has come from Brih Dhatu, to be big, that which is the biggest one is called Brahman. He is explaining. Bigness in what sense? Bigness is always relative from the standpoint of ant. Elephant is big. From the standpoint of mountain, elephant is small, mountain is big. If I say ant is big, among so many ants, that ant is big. These are all called sapekshaka, that bigness. That to be big, brihattamatvam. They are not atyantika brihattamatvam, they are only relative bigness because of some proximate noun, upapada. When we come to Brahman, when we see that Atma Chaitanyam, Brahman is also big, what type of bigness is this? Nischalādasa explaining, this Brahman, when we call it as big, you have to write a B capital letter. It is not small b, but it is not adjectival bigness. When we say ant is big, since it is relative, that bigness is not capital letter B, but it is small b, big. So big, bigger, biggest, that is possible when there is upapada, proximate noun. When we come to this Brahman, there is no proximate noun, upapada rahitatvat. Brahman is the big. That is proved in Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahmavidāpnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma. That anantam word comes later, which indicates Brahman is limitlessly big. That anantam is used as to show that Brahman is limitlessly big. Even Satyam word also tells, since there is no second thing to limit the Brahman, to compare the bigness of Brahman with anything, the whole world is mithya, asatyam. This Brahman is satyam. That satyam also gives more strength to this word Brahma, because this the Brahman who is big is satyam, is truth. What else we are seeing is asatyam. Therefore, this Brahman is limitlessly big, and this Brahman is satyam. Tad anyat sarvam mithya. Mithyatvat Brahma satyam bhavati. So that point is explaining Brahman is big because even space, Brahman doesn't have space-wise limitation, time-wise limitation. There is no second real object to limit Brahman. Vastu parichedaha nasti, desha parichedaha nasti, kala parichedaha api nasti. That is the point he is mentioning here. Tathacha vastvantara krita paricheda rahita rahitameva. Vastvantara, there is a second object, another object, vastvantara krita paricheda. That object which can make this Brahman limited. Paricheda means limited. Rahitameva, it is not there. There is no second entity to limit that Brahman. Brahma Shabda Vachyam Bhavitumarhati. Tathache Vastvantara Krita Paricheda Rahitameva Brahma Shabda Vachyam. Brahman is Brahman because there is no second entity to limit the Brahman. That is why Brahman is called Brahman. Dvaita Prapanchasya Tat Swarupe Adhyastataya Eva. Whatever this duality, dual world you are seeing, the world of duality, Dvaita Prapanchasya Tat Swarupe, upon this Brahman alone, Adhyastataya, superimposed. Suppose you say Brahman is, that is no second thing you are telling. Vastvantara rahitameva brahmatvam. Then immediately doubt will come. There is no vastvantaram you are telling, but I am seeing so many vastus in the world. So many objects are there in the world. If you have such a doubt, Dvaita Prapanchasya, the world of duality, Nama Rupa, Tat, they are all really Adhyastataya eva Swarupe. They are all superimposed upon this Brahman. They are not really there. Snake is superimposed upon the rope. Snake is not there. It is falsely superimposed. By ignorant people, the word Nama Rupa is falsely superimposed. Pratitehe Vastu, that Vastu which is appearing, Tat Swarupa Anatiriktatvad. that is not there separate from Brahman. Swarupa means Brahman, the consciousness. Whatever it is appearing to you, it is non-separate from this Brahman, non-different from Brahman. Just like snake. Rope snake appearing for a person, it is non-separate from the rope. It is not there separate from the rope. Snake is not independently existing of separate from the rope. There is no snake at all. Like that, here also, anatiriktatvad, non-separate. Swarupa anatiriktatvad. Swarupa anatirikta. Atirikta means different. Anatirikta means non-different. Differently, this appearing world is not existing at all. Up to here we saw in the last class. तथा च वस्तुकृत परिच्छेद निराकरणेनैव देशकालकृत परिच्छेदोऽपि निरस्तो वेदितव्यः देशकालयोरपि परिकल्पितत्वेन वस्तुतः तद्रूपा अनतिरेकात् एवं द्वैतापरोक्षस्य अधिष्ठानत्वेन तद्बाधावधित्वेन च त्रिविध परिच्छेदरहितं यदद्वितीयं तत् सत्यमेवेष्टव्यम् इति. Now with this he concludes that Brahman nature, almost last but one description, this one. Tadhacha, moreover, vastukrita paricheda nirakaranenaiva, by negating nirakarana, by negating the limiting adjuncts by any other entity. Paricheda means limiting adjuncts by what? Vastukrita, any other object. Like desha kala krita parichedaha api nirastaha. Once you negate that any vastu is not there, desha also, space-wise limitation also is not there. Because space-wise limitation, it is, suppose you say, this Brahman is here, it is not there, means where? Where you have to say another object that is there, not here. Means here what? Here means in this place, in this near this object. It is not there, it is there. Suppose you say you require an object. Himalayas are so far. From what? They are far or near shows the distance. Because far and near also there must be an object. Once there is no object, desha paricheda also you cannot talk. Vastu is not there, nirastaha tasmat desha kalavayoho api desha kalasya api. Desha kala means desha means space, kala means time, time means when, time parikalpitatvena desha kala parichedaha api nirastaha. We have to veditavyaha, we have to understand. As the moment you negate the second object, you understand that you are negating the time and space also. By negating both of them, parikalpitatvena vastutaha tadrupa anatirekad. Really time also superimposed upon me, the Atma. Space is also parikalpitameva, superimposed upon me, the Atma. Really speaking, they are not there separately. They are not different separately. Desha, kala doesn't exist separate from Brahman. Evam, in this manner, Dvaita parokshasya, that world of duality which is appearing, Adhishthanatvena. Adhishthanatvena means nothing but Brahman only. What you are seeing, Jnani sees the world as Brahman, Ajnani sees the world as world. That is the difference between Jnani and Ajnanis. How Jnani can do that? Tad badha avadhitvena. Jnani is able to do that badha, negation. In Sanskrit, badha means negation in Vedantic language, not in Telugu badha or suffering or Tamil, not that badha here. Badha means by negating. By negating, there is it is subject to be negatable. Badha avadhitvena, that which is the reminder of negating everything. What remains after negating everything? Avadhi means the remainder. Atma Chaitanya only is left out after negating everything. Trividha paricheda rahitam. Trividha means desha kala vastu paricheda. Yat advitiyam, that secondless Brahman. Tat satyam eva, that is satyam only, that is alone is satyam. All else, whatever you appearing, pratiti is there, experientially you are experiencing them, tat asatyam ityartha. Once this Brahman is satyam, satyam eva eshtavyam. We have to understand. This is to be known. Eshtavyam means to be known as real. Who this Brahman alone is real. Who is that real Brahman? I myself. Next paragraph. Idam cha brahmana durena-pyantike vartate yadhi vastu sasmad anyatvena anatma bhutam deshadi rupopadhi parichinnancha bhavati tadeva dure antike va vartate ityuchyate idam tu brahmana pratyagatmanaha vidyate kim tarhi sarvasya pratyagatma bhutam deshadi rupa sarvopadhi shunyancha bhavati tasmadeva tat dure antike va vartamanataya nochyate. Now the last point. Where is this Brahman? It is limitlessly big. Fine. But this limitlessly big Brahman is how far from me, or is it near to me? Dureva antikeva. Is it near or is it far? Suppose such a doubt comes. In Chandogya Upanishad it is said, Aitadatnyam idagam sarvam tat satyam sattatvamasi shveta keto. This everything is Atman alone. That Atma is you yourself. Tattvamasi. Therefore, idam cha brahma, this Brahman, dure na api antike vartate. It is not existing either far or near. Ishavasya Upanishad mantra you can remember. This is explained there. Duram antika. Dura means far, antika means near. Yad hi vastu, suppose if that difference or distance is there, vastus swasmad anyatvena anatma bhutam. Suppose it is different from itself, anyat anatma bhutam. Deshadi rupopadhi parichinnancha bhavati. If it is, there is anything different from that. Yadi vastu swasmad anyat. Suppose I am here, from me there is something else, it is far. or it is near to me. There is second entity, either far or near to me. What will happen? I am the self, that object will become non-self. By why? We have spatial-wise distance and time-wise limitation and object-wise limitation also bhavati, parichinnam bhavati. Limitation will come to me, the Brahman. Tadeva dure antike va vartate. That object alone can be far or near. Only an object alone can be far or near. Subject can never be far to the subject or near to the subject. I, the Atma, am the subject. I am neither near to me nor far to me. Then how I am? That he says, Idantu Brahma, this Brahman happens to be Pratyagatmanaha na Pratyagatmano na bhidyate. It is not different from the inner self. Pratyagatma means inner self. I, the self, am Brahman. There is no difference to Brahman other than me. So one has to claim that Brahman is myself. Kim tarhi, then what? Sarvasya pratyagatma bhutam. For everyone it is inner self only. Not only for Jnani. For Ajnani also it is inner self only. But they do not know that. Deshadirupa sarvopadhi shunyancha bhavati. I, the Brahman, am free from desha and adipadat. Kala, rupa, vastu is not there. Sarva upadhi shunyam. All limiting adjuncts are not there in me, the Brahman. Tasmadeva, therefore only. Tat, that Brahman, who am I? That Brahman, we are always saying that Brahman, as though it is far. I am Brahman. So, that Brahman which we are talking, Dure Antikeva, either far or near, Vartamanataya, cannot be described as far or near, na uchyate. It cannot be described as far or near. I am far, how much to myself? Am I near to myself? I am far from myself. I am neither far, I am not near also. That means what? I am, that's all. That is why this I am we have to understand properly. I have to consolidate now. Now in the next paragraph he is going to enter into an aside topic, general and contextual involved topic. Before that I consolidate up to now what we saw in the Chaturvidya Prakaranam, 4 topics. The Jiva Swarupam and Ishvara Swarupam explained. And Jiva Swarupam we saw that 3 factors in that Jiva, that is RC, RM and OC. Reflected consciousness, reflecting medium and original consciousness put together Jiva. So this OC, RC, RM at Jiva level, micro OC, micro RM, micro RC at micro level. This whole 3 put together Saguna Jiva. We can give the name Saguna Jiva. And you take out the consciousness, original conscious part you take, it is called Kutastha. That Kutastha is Tvampada Mahavakyam. Tvampada is there. Tatu Tvam Asi in Mahavakya. That Tvampada is having Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. Vachyartha primary meaning and Lakshyartha secondary meaning. So what is the Tvampada Vachyartha primary meaning? Saguna Jiva is the primary meaning of this Jiva. Primary meaning of that Tvampada. Primary meaning of you is RC plus OC plus RM. Then what about that secondary meaning, Lakshyartha? Through Bhagatyaga Lakshana, once you take RC and RM or Mithya, OC alone is Satyam. That OC is Nirguna Kutastha. Chaitanyam. OC is Chaitanyam. Therefore, Nirguna Kutastha. So the Kutastha is integral part of Jiva. But when you take Lakshyartha, that you take out through Bhagatyaga Lakshana intellectually, this Nirguna Kutastha, who is the integral part of Saguna Jiva, when I talk about the Lakshyartha, implied meaning, secondary meaning, the Tvampada Lakshyartha, that is Nirguna Kutastha. Therefore, Saguna Jiva include all the three, RC, RM, OC. And Nirguna Kutastha is only Lakshyartha, the Tvampada Lakshyartha, Nirguna Kutastha. So this is about Jiva, micro level. Corresponding to that, Ishvara you come, again in Ishvara also macro RC, macro OC, macro RM, Maya. So that Ishvara also Saguna Ishvara. We call it as Saguna Ishvara. Who are all there in Saguna Ishvara? Reflecting medium Maya. In that Maya, there is Chidabhasa. That Chidabhasa is called macro RC and macro OC put together Saguna Ishvara. That is Tatpada Vachyartha. In Mahavakya, Tatpada is there. Tatu Tvam Asi, Tatu is called Ishvara. What type of Ishvara? Saguna Ishvara. Now how can we arrive at Lakshyartha of Ishvara? Tatpada Lakshyartha. Tatpada Lakshyartha you can arrive at, take out that macro OC from that three factors group, Saguna Jiva. From Saguna Ishvara you take out that OC, macro OC, that is called Brahman. Nirguna Brahma is the Lakshyartha of Tatpada of Mahavakya. Ishvara, Saguna Ishvara, Saguna Jiva. Saguna Jiva, Saguna Ishvara. What you are taking out Bhagatyaga Lakshanaya? Jiva level you are taking out the Kutastha, and Ishvara level you are taking Brahman. This Kutastha, OC, micro OC, and Brahman, macro OC, both are one and the same. Therefore, Tatu Tvam Asi, when Guru says, what I have to say? Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Kutastha Brahma Asmi. Keep the Upadhis, RM, RC at micro, macro level, falsify them. This is the Chaturvidya Prakriya beautifully presented until now. Now what is this next topic, a side topic? It is very, very involved. Just I will read and explain, but not word to word. Words may be little jugglery, but Nischala is justifying his Chaturvidya Prakriya. And in this explanation, he is going to talk about Ishvara and Brahman. Both are conventionally we use two words. Ishvara is nothing but Brahman, consciousness plus Maya, is equal to Ishvara. So Ishvara, if you say, also consciousness plus Maya. Brahman also, if you say what? Consciousness plus Maya. So consciousness is never free from Maya. Maya is always there in consciousness. So consciousness, Vibhuti is what? Maya. It is Shakti. Therefore, Brahman and Ishvara both are not, really speaking, they are different. They are not different. They have not having different meanings. They are only one. They are synonyms. Shastrically, if you see. From Shastra vision, Brahman and Ishvara both are synonyms. But while teaching conventionally, just we talk Maya Sahitam Brahma, Ishvara, Nirgunam Brahma, alone is Brahman. Like that we use the words, but they are not different. That is explaining. Before that also again Brahma Shabda, Vachyartha and Lakshyartha, he is elaborating very nicely. We'll see this portion now. Brahma Shabdasya hi Vachyarthaha sopadhika eva Vyapakatva dharma visishtasya Vastunaha Brahma Shabda bhideyatvat Idam cha vyapakatvam dvividham Sapeksham Nirapeksham cha iti Yadvastu Vyapyapeksaya vyapakam Swavyapakapekshaya vyapyam cha bhavati Tadapekshika vyapakam ityuchyate Tatha prithivyaadirupa Swakaryapekshaya Vyapini Maya Chaitanyapekshaya tu na vyapini Kintu vyapya tasman mayayam apekshikameva vyapakatvamismasti yadvastu sarvapekshaya vyapakam bhavati tannishta vyapakatvam nirapeksha vyapakatvamityuchyate idam cha nirapeksha vyapakatvam chaitanye eva vartate na tata na tat the quotation na tat samaschabhyadikvascha drishyate ityadi shrutya tat samam vadhikam va na kinchana vyapakam vastu vidyate iti siddhatvat tasma chaitanyasya sarvapekshaya vyapakatva shravanat tadeva nirapeksha Vyapakamiti Siddhyati. Now, Nischaladasa is telling what do you mean by all pervasiveness. See, when we talk about Saguna Jiva and Saguna Ishvara, there are a lot of differences. Sarvagnatvam, Alpagnatvam, omniscient, Alpiscient, omnipotent, alpipotent Jiva. When you take Saguna Jiva and Saguna Ishvara, there are a lot of differences. But when you remove that Saguna part, RC, RM part, Kutastha Brahman you take, there are no any limitations. So this Vyapakatvam, all pervasiveness, how you talk about all pervasiveness? All pervasiveness is of two types. He says, Sapekshika all pervasiveness, Nirapekshika all pervasiveness. So pervasiveness has got two, less pervasive, more pervasive. So less pervasive, more pervasive. Brahman is more pervasive. How? What about Maya? Maya is always with Brahman. Why Maya is not all pervasive like Brahman? No. That's what he says here. Brahma Shabdasya hi Vachyarthaha sopadhika eva. You see, the Vachyarthaha means primary meaning of Brahman is always, that means Brahman Tatpada Vachyartha is sopadhika eva, with attributes. Sopadhika means with attributes. Vyapakatva dharma vishishtasya vastunaha, an object that which has got pervasiveness, visishtasya, endowed with some attributes, Brahma Shabda Abhideyatvat, that it is called as Brahman. Indicated, Abhideya means indicated by Brahman. Whatever is having that pervasiveness, that is called Brahman. We said, Idancha Vyapakatvam Dvividham. We said Brahman is all pervasive because it is big, we said. But what type of bigness? That bigness is of two types. All pervasiveness we can take. Pervasiveness is of two types, dvividham. Sapeksham and nirapeksham. Sapeksham means here less pervasive. Satishayam. In the brackets it is given Satishayam. Also you can call less pervasive ityartha. Nirapeksham means Niratishayam, more pervasive or limitlessly pervasive. Cha iti, two types of pervasiveness. Okay, one is less pervasive and one is more pervasive. Now, who is more pervasive, who is less pervasive? Na? Maya is less pervasive than Brahman. Brahman is more pervasive. That how do you know? Na? That is, he is explaining in Purusha Suktam also. Tripadosya vishva bhutani tripadasya divi. So 1/4 alone is this universe Maya. 3/4 is Brahman is without Maya is there. He explaining idancha vyapakatvam dividham. After saying this, yadvastu swavyapya apekshaya vyapakam. Whatever entity is from its standpoint, swapekshaya means from its standpoint, vyapakam, it is pervasive. Swavyapaka apekshaya vyapyam cha bhavati. It can be less pervasive also from the standpoint of other entity. It is like bigness. I said ant is big, but elephant is bigger than ant. Mountain is bigger than elephant. Like that, here also pervasiveness is also not total pervasiveness. Yadvastu swapya apekshaya vyapakam. There is a proximate, some object is there. Suppose there is a vyapaka means here pervasiveness. Swavyapaka apeksha, from the standpoints of its pervasiveness. Vyapyancha bhavati, it is pervaded also. Maya is pervading the entire nama rupa prapancha. He gives the example here. That example means original only. Tad apekshaya apekshika vyapakam ityuchyate. It is said to be less pervasive. From the standpoint of other object, it is less pervasive. If suppose any other entity is there. Yatha, just like, he gives an example. Prithvi is all pervading, all pervasive. Prithvyadi rupa swakaryapekshaya. From the standpoint of Prithvi, earth, which are the effects of Maya, Vyapini Maya. Maya is more pervasive with compared to the earth, because Maya is the cause, earth is the effect, karyam. So karanam is always more pervasive than the effect. Effect is less pervasive. So this Prithvi is the karyam. Prithvi is karyam. Prithvi adi rupa means etc. Prithvi, other objects, etc. So karyapekshaya, from its karyam standpoint, maya vyapini bhavati. Maya is more pervasive. Is it Maya is this sapeksham or nirapeksham pervasiveness means it is sapeksham only, because chaitanya apekshaya, from the standpoint of chaitanyam, na vyapini. Maya is not all pervasive, it is less pervasive. Kintu vyapya, Maya is pervaded by Brahman. Maya is pervaded. Vyapya means pervaded. That which pervades is Brahman. Maya is less pervasive than Brahman, but more pervasive than earth from its effect. but whereas it is less pervasive than Brahman. Tasmat, therefore, Mayayam apekshikameva vyapakatvam asti. Therefore, Maya has got what type of pervasiveness? Apekshikam means less pervasiveness. It is not absolute pervasiveness. It doesn't have absolute pervasiveness. Yadvastu sapekshaya vyapakam bhavati, that which has got limited less pervasiveness, tan nishtha vyapakatvam nirapeksha vyapakatvam iti uchyate. When it is pervaded by something, such a pervasiveness, means here what? Sarvapekshaya vyapakam bhavati yadvastu. With compared to everything, whatever that entity which is more pervasive with compared to other things, that is tannishtha vyapakatvam. Tannishtha means that Maya is there in Brahman. Maya is less pervasive. Brahman is all pervasive. Therefore, nirapeksha vyapakatvam ityuchyate. In which the more pervasive objects are there, more pervasive entity is there. Maya is in Brahman. So it is only 1/4. 3/4 it is not occupied in Brahman. Therefore, Brahman pervasiveness is nirapeksham vyapakatvam. Limitless pervasiveness, Brahman. Idam cha nirapeksha vyapakatvam chaitanya eva vartate. Therefore, chaitanyam, the consciousness, I, the Brahman, am nirapekshaka, all pervasive. Therefore, Prithvi is in me. I am not on the earth. Really speaking, earth is in me, the Atman. Wave is in the ocean or ocean is in the wave? Which is more pervasive? Ocean is more pervasive than wave. The wave is in the ocean, not ocean is in the wave. Okay, like that, clay and pot also you say, pot is in the clay. Clay is in the pot or pot is in the clay. In the whole clay is general, samanya mrita. In that there is no pot, but in every pot there is clay. That is samanya visesham. Pot clay is viseshamrita, specific clay. But other than the pot clay, there is so much of clay, general, that is more pervasive. Like that here also, yadvastu sarvapekshaya vyapakam bhavati tannishtha vyapakatvam nirapeksha vyapakatvam ityuchyate. Idancha nirapeksha vyapakatvam chaitanyam eva. Chaitanyam alone is limitlessly pervasive, absolute pervasiveness is there. Such limitless pervasiveness is in the consciousness alone. What is the pramanam for that? Shvetashvatara Upanishad, 6th chapter, 8th mantra says, Nat samaha cha abhyadikaha cha drishyate. There is nothing more pervasive than this Brahman, more pervasive or equally pervasive than this Brahman. There is nothing equally pervasive as Brahman or more superior to Brahman. Adhikaha api na asti. Drishyate, na drishyate. Not there, not appear at any time. Ityadi. Like that there are so many Shruti quotations are there. Shrutya tat samam va adhikam va na kinchana vyapakam vastu vidyate. By Shruti only we come to know there is no equal entity to Brahman or superior entity to Brahman. Na kinchana vyapakam, more pervasive vastu na vidyate iti siddhatvat. This has been established. Tasmat, therefore, Chaitanyasya eva sarvapekshaya. From the standpoint of everything, sarvapekshaya, Chaitanyasya eva, Chaitanyam alone, Atma Chaitanyam alone, the Atma Chaitanyam alone is, when I say I means, you have to remember Vachyartha, not Vachyartha, but Lakshyartha. Vyapakatva Shravana Tadeva, pervasive. We are listening from Shrutis. Shravanat means from Shruti we are listening. This Brahman alone is more pervasive than anything else. Nirapekshaka Vyapakatvamiti. So it is said to be limitlessly pervasive. Siddhyati. We come to know this is more pervasive. Nothing is there to be pervasive. Maya is pervaded by Brahman. Because Maya is the power of Brahman, Maya is less pervasive. More pervasive than Prithvi, but less pervasive than Brahman. Okay, this is about pervasiveness. Now, etad vishaya, etad vividha vyapakatva visishtam vastu brahma shabda vachyarthaha maya shabalita chaitanye dividhamapi etad vyapakatvam vartate vishishthanishta visheshanai bhuta maya rupamshe apekshika vyapakatvam visheshya bhuta chaitanyamshe nirapeksha vyapakatvam cha vartate chaitanye ekadeshe mayaya sattvat maya vishishta chaitanyapekshaya shuddha chaitanyasya adhika vyapakatvacha tadeva nirapekshaka vyapakatvam natu maya vishishta chaitanyam. After here I will say first etad dvividha vyapakatva visishtam vastu. That Brahman, Vachyartha, the primary meaning of Brahman is dvividha vyapakatva visishtam vastu. Both, dvividha means both these kinds of pervasiveness includes, Visishta means includes the Vastu, Brahma Shabdasya, of that Brahman, primary meaning of the word Brahma. In Shastra, Ishvara and Brahma are synonyms. Brahma Shabdasya Vachyartha means what? Ishvara. Brahma Shabda Vachyartha is Ishvara. Ishvara Shabda Lakshyartha is Brahman. Okay. Maya Shabalita Chaitanya. That in that consciousness conditioned by Maya. Maya Shabalita means condition. Endowed or limited, associated. Dvividhamapi etad vyapakatvam vartate. There are both pervasiveness, vyapakatvam, dvividhamapi, Ishvara also and Brahman also, both are, Ishvara is all pervading, we say. Brahman is all pervading or not? Brahman is also, that only we have explained in the above paragraph. Brahman is all limitlessly pervasive. What about Ishvara? Ishvara is all pervasive. Ishvara, in that Ishvara, Brahman is there or not? OC is there. Therefore, Vachyartha Brahma Shabdasya means Ishvara. Maya Shabalita Chaitanya means Maya Sahitam Brahma. Dividhamapi etad vyapakatve vartate. Visishtanishta visheshi bhuta maya rupamshe apekshika vyapakatvam visheshya bhuta chaitanya amshe nirapeksha vyapakatvam cha vartate. Now you see, Ishvara, when we take RM, macro RC, macro OC, all three put together Saguna Ishvara. In this Saguna Ishvara, RM and RC are there. RM and RC are there. So Chaitanyam, Vishishta Nishtha means what here? That associated with Maya, Visheshi Bhuta Maya Rupamse. Thus Maya Rupa Amsha is there. Apekshika Vyapakatvam. That is Apekshikam. That is less pervasive. Visheshya Bhuta Chaitanyam se Bhagatyaga Lakshanaya. If you take that, remove that RM and RC, then that Brahma Visheshya Bhuta Chaitanyamsha Nirapekshaka Vyapakatvam cha bhavati. It is more Vyapakam. It is more pervasive. Brahman is Nirgunam and Ishvara is Sagunam. When Brahman is along with RC and RM, becomes Sagunam, Ishvara. When you remove RC and RM, Brahman is Nirgunam. So Ishvara is Sagunam, Brahman is Nirgunam. Nirapeksha Vyapakatvam cha vartate. So in Brahman and Ishvara, both Sapekshika Vyapakatvam and Nirapekshika Vyapakatvam both are there, because Brahman is there in Ishvara as OC. Therefore, there also Vyapakatvam is there. In Ishvara also Vyapakatvam is there, because Brahman is there in Ishvara. Chaitanya Ekadesha Mayayaha Sattvat. Chaitanya, in this Chaitanyam, Ekadesham, that Ekadesha, one Amsha, Maya is there. Maya Vishishta Chaitanyam. When Chaitanyam is associated with Maya, Chaitanya Pekshaya Shuddha Chaitanyasya Adhika Vyapakatvacha. You see, pure Chaitanyam is more Vyapakam. Tripadasya Amrutam Bhuvi. So Padasya Vishwa Bhutani, that is Maya, and Tripadasya Amrutam Devi means that Brahma Chaitanyam is Shuddha Chaitanyam Adhika Vyapakatvam. It's more pervasive. That is why what we are seeing, Nama Rupa Prapancha, is only 1/4. What we are not seeing, what Nama Rupa, other than this world, Lokas and Brahmanda, all planets, other than this Nama Rupa Prapancha, what else is there? Pure Brahman. That pure Brahman alone, Suddha Chaitanyasya Adhika Vyapakatvam. That's why what we know is very, very, very less. What you see is not total Brahman. And that's why Brahman Andandambulu Pindandambulu Anta Brahmamayam. Tadeva Nirapekshaka Vyapakam. That is only limitless pervasiveness. Natu Maya. Not this Maya, Nama Rupa Prapancha Vishishta Chaitanyam. That Chaitanyam associated with RC and RM, that is not all pervasive with compared to Nirgunam Brahma. That's why Ishvara is also Vyavaharikam. Nirgunam Brahma alone is Paramārthikam. Tadhapi yataha Maya Vishishta Chaitanyam Paramartha Drishtya Shuddha Chaitanyad Anatiriktam Anatiriktam Sat Shuddha Rupameva Bhavati Tasman Maya Vishishte Api Yat Chaitanyamsha Tatra Nirapekshameva Vyapakattvamasti Itham Maya Vishishta Chaitanyameva Brahma Shabdasya Vachartha iti Yuktamevoktam Shuddha Chaitanyam tu Brahma Shabdasya Lakshyartha. Up to here we'll see now. Tathahi. To explain further, moreover, Yataha Maya Vishishta Chaitanyam. That Chaitanyam, the consciousness associated with Maya, Paramarthika Drishtya, from absolute angle, from reality, if you see, Shuddha Chaitanyam Anatiriktam, it is Shuddha Chaitanyam only, really speaking. Shuddha Chaitanyam Anatiriktam, it is non-different from pure consciousness. It is non-different from pure consciousness only. Sat Shuddha Rupameva Bhavati, it is pure. That is why pure Brahman, adulterated Brahman, married Brahman is Brahman married to Maya, Ishvara. Okay, Maya married means just jocularly I am telling. Don't think Brahman has got married. Nothing. Shuddha Rupameva Bhavati. Tasmat Maya Visishte Api. Even though Brahman is associated with Maya, Yat Chaitanyamshaha Tatra Nirapekshmeva Vyapakatvam Asti. Even though Brahman is available in this Maya Sahitam Brahma Ishvara, who is there now? All pervasive Brahman is there in that Ishvara. Okay. Itham. In this manner, Maya Vishishta Chaitanyameva, that Chaitanyam which is enclosed in this Maya, Vishishta means enclosed, Brahma Shabdasya Vachyarthaha iti. Yuktameva Muktam. It is proper, we said already. What said there? Vachyartham, primary meaning of Brahman. What is the primary meaning of Brahman? Maya Vishishta Chaitanyam. What about Lakshartha, secondary meaning? Shuddha Chaitanyam tu. Pure consciousness is Brahma Shabdasya Lakshartha. Minus RC and RM, pure consciousness is the secondary meaning of Brahman. Lakshartha. Tatpada Lakshartha. Tasmat Ishvara Brahma Shabdayoho. I will read here. Tasmad Ishvara Shabdayor Ekam Yevardha Pratiyate Na Bhinnarthata Tadhapi Asti Ayam Visheshaha Brahma Shabdaha Swarasataha Laksharthameva Prayashaha Bodhayati Kvachit Kataya Tu Vacharthamapi Ishvara Shabdasya Vacharthameva Prayashaha Bodhayati Lakshartha Tu Kvachit Kataya Idrig Bhedam Sadbhavadeva Lakshartham Avalambya Brahma Shabdasya Arthaha Bhinnataya Nirupitaha. So Brahma Shabda is Bhinnataya, differently, distinctly, Nirupitaha, established. What? That Brahman is both Ishvara and Brahman, both are synonyms only, but because of the association of Maya, Maya Rahitam Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma, Maya Sahitam Brahma, Saguna Ishvara, both are conventionally presented. Really speaking, both are one and the same. Tasmad Ishvara Brahma Shabdayoho. So Ishvara and Brahman both are what? Eka eva arthaha pratiyate. Both are having the same meaning, na bhinnarthata. There is no different meaning for these Brahman and Ishvara. Tadhapi asti ayam visheshaha. Therefore, there is a special meaning is there. We are giving Brahma Shabdaha Swarasataha Laksharthameva. So, Brahman means Lakshartham. We are using Prayashaha, generally Bodhayati, indicated. Brahman means Laksharthaha Brahman, generally indicated. Kvachit kataya, rarely tu vacharthamapi. Primary meaning also, Brahman and can be called as primary meaning sense also used, and secondary meaning sense also Brahman can be used. Same way Ishvara also. That I will explain in the next class. After this we will enter into next topic, that objections will come and he is going to give answer. With this Chit Chatur Vidya Prakriya is over. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.